Hello everyone, and welcome to Saturday. I have had a wonderful morning. Let's call it an absolute wonderful morning because I've been up for several hours, and all of those hours were spent on the toilet screaming. Yeah, so not sure why. It sure felt like food poisoning, but Mal and I basically ate the exact same foods in the last 2 days, at least as far as I can tell. And, you know, occasionally I'll eat some snacks or something that's not the same, but yeah, that's not ideal. And maybe it wasn't food poisoning, maybe my stomach's just doing weird stuff, I don't know. But this is the hardest thing to figure out. It's bread in wrapping, but then it's wrapped in the wrapping. There we go. The only thing that sounded good for lunch is plain toast, honestly. Like that sounds exactly like what I want. Nothing on it, just bread. So I'm gonna have a few slices. Oh, it doesn't work unless it's plugged in. I'm gonna have a few slices of bread and hope that I feel better, because that is not fun. We have an agenda today, though, which is one of the reasons why I've really hated being ill. It's because I've really slowed us down today, because I've spent so long in the bathroom with so much yelling. Oh God. But we have to go to Home Depot because we're going to look specifically for spider killer. We have bug killer that we've already sprayed around the house. We have fire ant killer that we haven't really had to use because the yard, at least right now, seems pretty clear. But we seem to be having an issue with spiders for whatever reason. At the old house, we had issues with earwigs. We had earwigs pretty often. Here, we don't have any bugs, except we've seen, I don't know, 2 or 3 garden spiders inside, but they're not the problems. The problems are we have black widows, like a lot of black widows. Now, admittedly, we've seen them all outside, but we've seen a lot, and, as someone who lives here, occasionally you'll see a black widow, but not a lot of black widows. And that's a little concerning because black widows, for one, are venomous, and that's bad. It's not super bad for us because we're adults. A bite probably wouldn't kill us. We'd probably be fine. It's really just for children and elderly. But, Sagan and Kepler, that's a concern. Now, we haven't seen any black widows inside, but if we're seeing them outside and we're seeing multiple, then, they could get inside, and that would be bad. So today we're going to try and deal with that the best that we can. I don't know what they sell. I guess we're just going to go to Home Depot and look. But we're going to do something to try and take a stand against, black widows. They can live wherever they want, as long as it's not here. If they live here, they'll die. Well, they have spider killer spray, but then they also have these traps, and the traps might work better. I mean, I don't really know. I don't think my family's ever bought exclusively spider killer. Like Raid for roaches, sure, and ant traps and things, but I don't think we've ever bought spider killer. Spring?
Got him.
You saw him?
Yeah. The one that we saw yesterday here is still alive, but he is quickly dying.
Full disclosure, spiders are generally a good thing. You want spiders around. They eat the insects that would otherwise bother you or get into your home. So having spiders around is a positive thing. Even inside your house. I mean, I know some people don't want spiders in their house, but, a few never hurt anybody. And if you really don't want them, you can, safely capture them and then put them outside. Even black widows aren't necessarily a problem. But, 1 or 2, okay, you start seeing more, and it becomes a little concerning. So, that's why we're dealing with this today. Normally spiders aren't a big deal, and I don't even mind seeing them, but seeing a few black widows scares me a little bit, because if we've seen this many, there could be more, and if they start getting in the house, then it's I don't want to deal with that. So that's why we're trying to prevent any further Black Widow exposure. And for anyone wondering, yes, we did leave all of the toast people here.
I've seen a couple of their webs.
Really?
Little ones. The far corner of the house up by the garage has it. I saw one right here. They have these very disorganized, crazy webs. So, I mean, I don't know the best way to spray it, but I'm just kind of going until I see a web and then dousing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been in a position where I've seen so many Black Widows at one place, so it's a little odd, but we're dealing with it the best way we know how. Also, our heat has been really bad lately, and if you want to know how bad, check out these things. Basically just skeletal remains of a lizard, and then right next to it, a little baby snake. These things got roasted and toasted. Holy crap. Sagan, are you on the prowl? Are you on the prowl for food? Because you know food's coming. He is antsy.
Here we go. Your favorite thing.
Oh, it's coming now. It's coming. Run into position.
Sit. Good boy, Kepler. Good boy, Sagan.
Now you get to consume food. Now you'll be quiet. Anyway, today is June 1st, which means two major things. For one, it's the beginning of the month, which means a shout out to our Patreon producers. Their names are scrolling along at the bottom of the screen now. If you'd like to learn more about Patreon, how you can support Mal and myself, and the perks that come along with that, that's going to be on the screen now or in the description. Or you can type it in to a browser, patreon.com/StephenGeorge, or Malmix if you'd like to support Mal. But it also means something else. June 1st, 2018, it's been a year. I'm just going to talk while I sit on the one piece of furniture we have out here. June 1st, 2018 is, in my opinion, a pretty important day in vlog history, because that was the day that the new timeline started, the second timeline, where we did the timeline split and we decided that we were going to stop working on stuff that we had been working on because the vlog was several months behind at that point, and instead jump ahead to present day. So now that it's been a year, I thought maybe I would talk about that for a second. Why I did it and how it's going. So if you're not aware, maybe you're new, StephenVlog has been going on for almost 10 years now. And in that time, vlogs have gotten behind here and there, but 2018, I guess really 2017 is where things started to get a little awry. We were doing a lot, both on StephenVlog and then also Stephen Plays. We were trying to balance a lot of stuff. We were going on a lot of trips, doing a lot of conventions, all this sort of thing. So that we're just juggling a lot of stuff in our life. And it made vlogs begin to start to get behind. And then in 2018, we really saw that kind of full force. By the time we decided to do the timeline split, I don't know how far vlogs were behind, but it was bad. It was more than 4 months, and it may have been 5 or even 6 months. It was really far behind. And it weighs on you mentally. It was a very negative thing for me. And it was such a thing that, the more I thought about it, I was I feel like if I was just releasing stuff from the current day, that I would feel better, because I got so many messages, maybe from people, messages and comment, maybe from people that meant well, but really just did immense harm, that were I just have no interest in watching, because it's not current. I don't want to see stuff from several months ago. And I don't blame them. It's probably a situation where it would have been better to just say nothing, which is always an option. But it did inspire me to say, okay, yeah, I should fix this. And at the time, that was the best, decision I had, and it was something I thought about for a while leading up to it. It was not something I took lightly. It was a very big deal to do something like that because we'd never done anything like that before. And it was June 1st, 2018 that we decided we're jumping straight to present day. And there were months that were missing from 2018, and we decided to throw it to the wind and say we will get back to them. We're not abandoning this stuff forever, but like we have to jump ahead, and we had to do it for honestly my mental health. And looking back on it, I don't regret that at all. I still feel that was 100% the right decision to make. Now, that being said, I'm super bummed that I'm still not caught up on 2018. I've made progress, and I know it's easy for people to forget that because it's not all done. But if you look at what I have been able to achieve, I have been releasing stuff. It's just our lives really didn't slow down all that much. It's been hard to juggle everything. Things got a little easier on the Stephen Play side because Dan started taking over first a little bit and then more and more and more. And that's been super, super helpful. But there's still just been so many things going on, and it's made it very difficult. And I have a hierarchy that I follow, and I think most people realize this. But if you don't, the rules are work first and foremost on, I guess, Stephen Plays, making sure Stephen Plays is taken care of and always has consistent content. And the reason for that logic is that it's the only thing that has always had a schedule. It's always had a schedule for like almost 10 years now, so it's like keep to that schedule no matter what. And I don't have to edit those videos anymore, which is very helpful. Dan does a great job, but I have to make them. So that's like first foremost thing, do that. Immediately under that is the newest timeline for vlogs. So making sure that present day is caught up. People can log in to YouTube, go to StephenVlog, and see yesterday's video. That's the primary thing. Next to that is the old timeline. Working on the old timeline to make sure that I'm continuing to eventually get that caught up. There's, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, there's really not that many videos to do, but it's still a sizable portion. So that's the next thing. And then finally, additional projects such as Fallout. Things get a little sketchy between Fallout and the old timeline because there's actually some stuff that requires Fallout to be done before I continue with the old timeline, so that's going to get reversed a little bit, but it doesn't matter because the most important thing is the new timeline. And I understand that since we've introduced the split timeline, over the past year, there have been times where we still fell behind because, of course, it's just going to happen. Life is busy, there's a million projects and things that we're trying to work on, so it's going to happen. But we always work hard to get it back. I'm dedicated to never introducing a third timeline. I know people joke about that, but it will remain a joke forever. It will not be a thing. I'm going to make sure I keep the timeline caught up and then work on the old timeline, and eventually those will be gone. They'll be done. It'll be all forgotten about. Someone will find the channel a year from now, and they'll be none the wiser that this ever occurred because it'll just all be there. And that's the hope. That's the hope. So yeah, that's my little recap from it. It's a pretty important date to me because it really signified a change, like a huge change that I felt like I needed to make, and I still feel a year later that it was the right decision to make. And I'm sorry that not everything from 2018 is out yet. That sucks, but I've been far happier and I think healthier trying to stay current with where we are instead of working on things from months ago. I think that's been good. And eventually, like I said, I have all this footage. Eventually it will all be out and this will be a thing in the past. Has it taken me much longer than I thought? Yeah. But so does everything else in life, I guess. Anyway, sorry that was a bit long-winded and rambly, but I just really wanted to get all that off my chest. Again, I still feel like it was the best decision I could have made. I'm still happy with the decision I made. There's just more work to be done, and there always is. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?